This is a gospel channel that promotes gospel content such as songs, poems, comedies, stories, and many more. Our vision is to populate God's kingdom and depopulate the kingdom of hell through our heart-striking content. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Follow us via the link displayed on the screen. For partnership and sponsorship, please contact us via weartgospeltv@gmail.com. You can also reach us on 080-515-33364 or 080-3233-4104. We urge Gospel TV, more and more souls for Christ. John 15 verse 16, Proverbs 11 verse 30. Thank you and God bless you.
Alright, welcome to the show. I am Miss Glory. So I will meet you.
Okay, my name is Mrs. Abisola Jetudepo. I really use that. My name is Abisola Jetudepo.
AKA Sweet Mama. Sister, I will meet you.
Brother Abiola Michael.
Brother Abiola Michael.
Yes.
Oh, Daddy Abiola Michael. Alright, so let's go into today's topic. We have here season of sex and the right time to date.
Okay.
First and first, I would like you, Mrs. Abiola, to tell us what you know about sex.
Well, sex is nice. Sex is beautiful. Sex is good. I'm sure that's not what you want me to say, but let me just put this foot forward. It's just the right time or the timing that probably might not distinguish it from it being bad or good, but at least it's good. It's whatever God does is good, and the concept is from God, so that means it's good, it's fine, it's absolutely wonderful. But it's not the timing that now put it in the class if it's good or it's going to be bad.
Okay, interesting. It seems we are going to learn a lot today. So, Daddy, can you tell us?
Marriage is, what's it marriage?
Sex.
Sex. But also, because sex is meant for the people that are married.
Okay.
Naturally. And that's why I said marriage is honorable bed undefined. And we all understand the meaning of the bed undefined. Naturally. Praise God. So the same way the bed means rest. When you want to rest, it goes to your bed. And the Bible says you should not defile it. The same way when marriage is done under a proper legal condition and with the will of God, sex give you rest. That's it.
So sex give you rest. That's for the marriage.
For
Like if I
marriage.
got you right.
Yes.
So what exactly is the right time? So when is the right time to have sex? So the right time to have sex.
Okay, sir.
Ladies first.
Like what Pastor said, the right time is logically when you're married.
Okay.
Yes. Like he said, it gives you rest. The thing is, if you engage in premarital sex, definitely the rest will be absent. Yes, definitely absent. So it's logical. When you should have sex is when you're married. If you are not married, it's like what the scripture says, that a stolen food is good, is sweet, but at the end it fills your mouth with gravel. So even if you're doing it not in the proper timing, you might think, oh, this is nice and all that, but at the end of the day, it's going to give you much more than you bargained for, that you don't want and you don't expect. So of course the natural timing should be when you're married within the confines of marriage.
Okay. So what do you have to say?
The right time, even in the beginning, at the right time, God gave Adam. At the right time, He gave him the wife. And still they were both naked and they were not ashamed. So the right time, not just getting married, but getting married in the way at the right time of God. And allowing God to give us. Now, if we engage sex outside the purpose and the will of God, I think there will still be a penalty outside the will and purpose of God. But if it's inside the will and purpose of God, because in the beginning, everything wants to do have to be related to the beginning. How did God start? Because that was the first institution God made. And how does He start? He created Adam. Adam was lonely, and God now said, this man will not be able to fulfill purpose. I have to give him a man. I have to give him a woman, which He gave him. I mean, that was at the right time, even though He was working in the purpose. he had discovered purpose, but at the right time, the sex came into the play. Alright, so the right time to get married is the time of God inside the purpose.
Okay. So what you're trying to say is until you are married, you're not permitted to have sex.
Yes.
Okay. With recent research I had, I discovered some reasons why people go into premarital sex, and I will share some of them with us. One of the reasons I saw was to develop sexual experience. You would agree with me that most marriages fail today because of dissatisfaction as regards sex. So some people have the view that if they are allowed to know how compatible they will be before getting into marriage, as far as sexually, they won't make such mistakes in marriage. So what is your take on that? Because it has led to broken homes. And if you're saying that premarital sex is wrong, and you have to keep to what the scripture said. So what are you talking? How are you going to cope divorce when you have to do with sexual dissatisfaction?
Okay, this thing you just mentioned made me remember what a guy said some time ago. He was speaking with my husband and he said, sir, I can't go to market to buy DVD without testing. So the same way I can't marry a lady without testing. The thing is, I don't want to sound too, maybe too fanatic. But thank God, this is the kingdom. Whatever is bad is bad. I don't care what, you don't test your life before you have the life, do you? Yeah, so you don't tell me that I want to test before. What did the rule of the game say? The rule of the game says you don't count times of marriage. Whatever you now try to okay, let's bring out reasons why I should probably test the ground before it's not anything. You know why? Because you can't be smarter than God. You can't be smarter than God. You don't know more than Him. So, and the Bible made us to understand that He is the beginning and the end. So in Him we move. So that means in between, we are all in between. He knows the beginning, He knows the end. So you can't tell me that you know better than Him. Or maybe it was in amnesia when He gave us the rule. So right now, God doesn't understand the concept that is going on in the world. So let's just help Him to make it. So basically, He's wrong. There is no, yes, if you have heard, okay, now if you say, okay, you want to test it before you actually get married, and after testing and you didn't get married, what happens?
Are you asking me?
Yes, I'm just trying because it's one of the, I'm not faulting what you said. Because I've heard it times and over again. In fact, some people are of the opinion that when you get to some stage and you're not married, for you to have control over your menstrual cycle, you have to indulge. Because some people, probably when they're claiming celibacy or they're claiming virgin, that they have problem with cramps during their menstrual cycle. It's still a lie. It's not medically proven. It's not scientifically proven. So it's still a lie. It's just our, this thing about Christianity. If you go inside the Bible, when you want to actually be evil, you will see scriptures that will back you up. You will twist the scriptures, and you will feel it's backing you up. But the truth is, the fundamental thing, I'm sure Pastor is going to do more like, but the fundamental thing, if it's wrong, it's wrong. There is no two way about it. Don't let us quote it as if, after all, you test it. You test, you enter, like what our pastors will always say. You can only determine your action. You can't determine the consequence of your action. So whatever the consequence, you can't fathom it. So you don't know what can come out. If the owner or the founder says it is wrong, this is how I want it to be, let it be. Please permit me to quickly make this illustration. I always tell singles, I said, major problem we have, it's not marriage. Marriage is not bad. Marriage is beautiful. Okay? By the grace of God, this year makes my 12th year.
Whoa.
Yeah, so. But when we don't play by the rule, we tend to bend the rule of the game. You will run into problems. There's no way around it. just play by the rule, even though it's not easy or it might not be easy. Play by the rule. But the moment you start bending, you run into problem. So that's my take.
Okay, so that's your take. But then I'm not really satisfied. And you would agree with me, truly, that broken homes today, some of them are from dissatisfaction, sexual. I'm talking about how did you settle that issue? We are against premarital sex. So how do you, because some persons are of the opinion that they do it to test their sexual compatibility. Yes. So how do you curb that issue if premarital sex is wrong?
Pastor, please let me answer that question. Trust me, sexual issue is not enough to break a marriage. I can tell you for free. Yes. You know why? When Adam and Eve, they came together, were they given a manual on sex? The Bible says that Adam knew his wife. Why did they break up? Because of that. Did the problem come into their lives because of sex? Sexual issue is not, I can see it anywhere. It's not enough to break any marriage. Trust me, if you see any home that breaks and they come to tell you that it's on the guise of sexuality, trust me, there are many underlying problems that they didn't tackle or they failed to see for them to actually walk around. But trust me, if it's basically the only thing they have to say is sexuality, is a lie. I can say it anyway, it is a lie. Nobody gets the manual. When a child is walking, nobody gets the manual of how to walk, right? You stand up today, you fall, you rise tomorrow. Okay, especially when you're telling the child, don't go to that place, it will jojo you. And the child eventually gets there. Nobody tells him or her not to go back there the next day. So you just navigate your way all around until nobody has the know-how. Even if you're married for 50 years, you still don't know the know-how of whatever sex is all about. So you can't tell me that marriage breaks on the point of sexuality alone. That is not true. Because the thing is, nobody is expert.
Okay.
What works in this home doesn't work in that home. Aha.
But then I know a couple that have this issue. Although the ladies, they were actually from one denomination like that. And the lady said no sex before marriage. And then they got into, on the night of their honeymoon, she discovered that what she was expecting, the manhood per se, was too small. And then this brings us back to the place of sexual compatibility. Immediately she broke the marriage.
How did you know a penis that was small?
Exactly.
I want to know if there was premarital sex, she would have discovered it.
Answer what Pastor said.
How
did she know the size? Is there a regular size?
It's because she has been dodging in sex.
Everybody has.
So she can't say she's a virgin.
No,
She
you
can't say she's
don't
a
understand what Pastor is saying.
Because
What is the parameter to judge that this penis was small?
if she has not been engaging in premarital sex.
Yes.
Perhaps, and that's why she wants to be compared.
That's where the problem comes from. You know what she did? She was comparing her man to the previous partners.
Now I'm saying this.
So you see that it's not sexuality that is the
The lady in
problem.
question that she's a virgin.
No,
I don't know, but I'm saying this on emotion. You said something that sex is not enough to break your home.
I'm telling you.
But I'm just saying this to point out that it has actually done harm.
No, it is not sex that was the problem.
Praise God. I think we need to go to the foundation.
She had some experiences.
Okay.
Mhm.
So experience is the problem.
So she's not comparing her man
Okay.
to the former. So that is where the problem comes from. It is not the sexuality.
She has made an error.
Okay.
You know, even the Bible complains, say if the foundation will be destroyed, what can the righteous do? Abi, now, take for example, now this lady in question, and she had sex with several men or few men, and comparing her own husband. Now, maybe she wants to say in purity that okay, and now I want to marry, I want to be serious with God. Let me now, but the consequence of what you have done in the past will always catch up with you.
Definitely.
Now, if you are a virgin, I thank God, I think I was one before I got married, and my wife was one. So you will have no complaint about what is the size
Of anything.
Exactly. Or whether my wife know how to do, or you won't know. Even before we got engaged in sexual activity, I have to lie that God said we should wait for 7 days. And that 7 days I was searching how to. So it took me, now my first sexual experience in marriage. Now it was like normal, no, it was something to not to forget. But as time goes on, you won't complain about anything. Naturally, it increases as you are compatible. I don't know whether I get me now. Now, these people were talking about that they want to have sexual experience before marriage. I believe if it's the will of God that you are marrying a particular man, that man was supposed to bring an ease to your pain. If you are marrying the will of God, how come we don't have Sarah? How come we don't have Anna? How come we don't have this great woman, Elizabeth and all of them, Mary, complaining about crumbs and everything in the Bible? How come they were still compatible with their husband? And I've searched the history of the Bible, I've not even seen, even the one that was barren. I didn't see where they're like, I needed to do this thing before I got married. So if it's not in our fundamental book of law as a Christian, which we are limited here now, if it's not there, then I think we shouldn't even talk about that one again. Because anybody that wants to engage already have the programming of the mind, that's how God works with us and how devil works with us. He said the gods of this world, if the gospel is not made known, because the mind of them has blinded. And God also wants to work with us. He said, let our mind be renewed. Let us be renewed by transforming of our mind. So the two, darkness and light, work with a mind. So it's not point to the fact that which information are you engrossed with. Now you can't tell this. Someone that watch African Magic, sorry for mentioning African Magic, watch African Magic from Monday to Friday, and all they could teach you is how to divorce. All they could teach you is all about fornication. All they teach you can sleep with any man you like with, as long as you have money. All they teach you is about baby mama. Are you getting me now? Now, are you telling me such a person could be compared with somebody that sits down with the Bible every day and trying to know our God or his God? It's the incomparable. So we should look at the source of the thing we injected in our mind. I mean, that's where. So you will not tell me that if you know your God, you'll be thinking about premarital sex before marriage, that you want to text your husband. No, it doesn't work that way. Because whatever God will give you will be the best. Even if you are in pain before your marriage, God will bring a man that will bring ease. Isaiah 61 verse 7, we say, for your shame, I will give you double. So, double in everything. That man must bring an ease. And even if the pain continues in marriage, the man will be so patient enough for you till that thing will do. Because two have to work together. Can two work together except they are agreed? Praise God.
I don't know if I can just add something. I watched a video this week and it got me thinking. The man preaching said, if you want to be a Christian, be a Christian. That's just the bottom line. See, you see all this rigmaroling around. If you want to be a Christian, be a Christian. Enough of us taking from the world, trying to force it down the throat of God, that God, see, this is what is happening in the world, you must accept this. Enough. So don't let us be quoting what is not. Anybody can say it as being over spiritual or fanatic. If you want to be a Christian, be a Christian. And what are the rules of the game? No premarital sex. Don't come and tell me I need to test. What are you testing? Do you understand? So if you want to be a Christian, be a Christian. If you don't want to, just go the hell. At least those people in the world that they have tested, they still get married. But one
consequence.
There will always be. The Bible says in that day there will be a difference. So
they that serve God and they that serve not. So the difference will be clear. So it's outside the will of God, you are permitted to test. Or inside the will of God.
That's the bottom line. Outside the will of God.
Yeah, so
if
you want to go by his will, do what he says.
So what then is your advice to those people out there, people that have this mindset that they have to test the compatibility? What's your advice generally to them? And those homes that are broken, how do they mend it?
Okay, we're talking about two things now. The people out there you're talking about, the Christians, are they in this kingdom?
Yes, they are. Of course, we're talking about Christianity.
Okay, so basically, every government, like Mansmoro said, every government has rule. Every country has constitution, right? You can't tell me that I'm living in Nigeria, I want to be working by the Netherlands constitution, no matter how much I love our country, right? Okay, so the basic advice I'm going to give everybody, what did the kingdom rules say? If the rules say don't, then please don't. I honestly, maybe because I grew up, my father was a soldier, I'm used to rules. Do you understand? I don't like it when people start giving you reason why they shouldn't. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. If you want to do it, do it. Don't come and tell me why they should bend that rule for you. Right? There was one day, they're not giving an illustration. Do you know the sign of cross?
Yes.
He said the vertical, this is the vertical right? The vertical comes, that means love comes from him down to the earth, and it goes across everyone. But he will not lower his standard for anyone. It doesn't matter who you are. Christians, stop trying to make God look like you. He doesn't understand what he was doing when he gave some of these rules. He is God. He has everything well planned out. If you want to be a Christian, be a Christian. If you do not want to, don't. So there's no more for me. Anyone engaging in premarital sex, your best shot is still abstain. Permit me to say this. I'm happy for pastor. Me, I wasn't a virgin when I got married. Oh well. Let's say I became Jesus virgin. Because of course I received sense and I let go. But I wasn't like biological virgin. My husband was. Right? But I realized that my years of celibacy were the best years of my life. They were the best year of my single life. Yes. They were the best year of my single life. Because I now understood why the rule says don't. Do you understand? So if you want to be a Christian, that's my own advice, be a Christian. If you don't want to do it. Now concerning the broken homes, like I said, sexuality for me is not the only reason why those homes broke. I am certain about that. At least by the grace of God, I should have little experience in my years being married and have. So they are not the reason, they are underlying. Look at this one you said. It's because she has enjoyed so many. Then she has something to compare with. What about somebody that has nothing? Like my husband doesn't have anything to anybody to compare with. So he's not, do you understand? And he will always tell you that there is no straight rule to sex in marriage. It is whatever you design for yourself. Do you understand? That you work with. However you design it, however. So there is nobody that is an expert in marital sex. So that's not.
What do you want to say?
Alright, so I want to know, talking about premarital sex, is the crave for sex bad? The urge for sex, is it bad?
The urge.
Yes,
it's
the crave
normal.
for sex. Is it normal?
The urge is normal.
Okay.
It's normal. Just like you have appetite to eat food,
Okay.
and you can control it.
So it's normal to anybody, whether married, not married.
When they declare 21 days fasting and prayer, did you fast? You did. Why? Because we have power over it. So what we should be talking about is, can we have power or strength over the urge? Can we control it? So just as you can control your feeding habits, the same way you can control your sexual urge. It's normal to have the urge, like what we call chemistry reaction in relationship stuff. Chemistry reaction that you saw someone that just like it's even normal. You can see someone like, wow, this is great, but you have the ability to control your urge.